Hello friends, welcome to Magic Storytime channel. This is a story about the elves and the shoemaker. Once upon a time, there lived a kind but poor shoemaker and his wife. The shoemaker worked very hard, crafting beautiful shoes, but he was so poor that he could only afford enough leather to make one last pair of shoes. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the shoemaker sighed deeply. "This is all I have left," he said to his wife. "I'll cut the leather tonight and stitch the shoes tomorrow. Let's hope they sell so we can buy more leather." He carefully cut the leather into pieces of a pair of shoes, laid it on his workbench, and then went to bed. The next morning, the shoemaker woke up early, ready to begin stitching. But when he reached his workbench, he couldn't believe his eyes. "Wife, come quickly," he called. There on the workbench was a perfectly finished pair of shoes. They were not just ordinary shoes, they were the most beautiful pair he had ever seen. The stitching was flawless and the leather shone as if sprinkled with magic. Who could have made these? Wondered the shoemaker. The shoemaker placed the shoes in the shop window. Soon a wealthy customer entered. "These are the finest shoes I've ever seen," exclaimed the customer. "I must have them." The customer paid the shoemaker generously enough money to buy leather for two pairs of shoes. That evening, the shoemaker cut the leather for two pairs of shoes and left it on his workbench. "Let's see what happens tomorrow," he said with a hopeful smile. The next morning, just like magic, there were two pairs of stunning shoes waiting for him. A delighted shoemaker quickly placed them in the shop window, and before long, more customers came, eager to buy the exquisite shoes. Day after day, the same thing happened. The shoemaker would cut the leather, leave it on the workbench, and by morning, the shoes were made. He and his wife began to prosper. They bought warm clothes, delicious food, and even helped their neighbors. But the shoemaker and his wife were curious. "Who is helping us?" they wondered. "We must find out." One night, the shoemaker and his wife decided to stay awake and hide in the workshop. They lit a tiny candle and crouched behind the curtain. As the clock struck midnight, the door creaked open. Two tiny elves, dressed in rags, scurried into the workshop. They climbed onto the bench and began working swiftly. Their little hands moved like lightning, cutting, stitching, and polishing the leather until the shoes were complete. When they were done, the elves slipped away into the night. The shoemaker and his wife were amazed. "Those kind little elves have been helping us all along," said the wife. The next morning, the shoemaker's wife said, "Those poor elves were wearing such tattered clothes. Let's make them something special to say thank you." The shoemaker nodded. "I'll make tiny shoes for them, and you can sew little outfits." Together, they worked all day. The wife stitched two tiny shirts, trousers, and warm coats, while the shoemaker made two pairs of the finest little shoes. They placed the gifts on the workbench that night and hid again. At midnight, the elves returned. When they saw the clothes and shoes, their eyes sparkled with joy. They quickly dressed in their new outfits, danced around happily, and giggled with delight. Then, with a cheerful wave, they disappeared into the night. The elves never returned, but the shoemaker and his wife didn't mind. They had learned the value of kindness and hard work. With the money they earned, they lived happily ever after and helped many others in need. And so, the shoemaker's story became one of the magic, gratitude, and joy of the giving. Thank you for watching, dear friends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Magic Storytime channel for more such magical tales. See you next time.